And this is us. I've met up with Sue and Gray and some of the other guys we're going to be detecting with today, and Sneaky Pete is also here as well. And this is the tidal causeway that's going to take us over onto the island of Lindisfarne, which is also known as Holy Island. So it's a tidal island off the northeast of England in the area known as Northumberland, and it has got an incredible history. There was a major religious site founded here in the 6th century, and it was a centre, should I say, of early Celtic Christianity. The only way to get over is when the tide is out, and this causeway, which is normally underwater at high tide, becomes exposed and we're able to drive over. The little hut that we just passed is a rescue hut for people who are caught out as they're either driving over or walking over, and we're going to have about 10 or 12 hours, almost 12 hours in fact, on the island. It's low tide just now, or not low tide, but the tide has just gone out enough that the causeway is exposed. It's just gone 7 in the morning, and we'll be able to get back off the island sometime probably around about 7 p.m. So it's going to be a long day, but my goodness, this place has got some incredible history, including a Viking invasion. So there we go, we've made it. We'll go and park up. I'll meet some of the people that we're going to be detecting with today, and a huge thanks to Sue and Gray for inviting me. I can't wait for this. Welcome back, not to the fields of Perthshire, but Holy Island, Lindisfarne, in the northeast of Scotland. How about that for a view? How about that for a day? Unbelievable. Well, we're back out on Holy Island, and there's a few more of us today, all thanks to Gray, who's there, and his wife Sue, who is right there. So that's Amber's Digs, and they very kindly invited me, and look who's here, Sneaky Pete. Sneaky Pete's here as well. So there's myself and Sneaky Pete, and there's 8 members of Amber's Digs, and we're back out on Lindisfarne. So we've actually got 2 days of metal detecting, and today is absolutely glorious. Hardly any wind, beautiful, not a cloud in the sky, and this is an island steeped in history. An early church founded here in the 500s, links to St Aidan, St Fillan, St Cuthbert, who was one of the most venerated early Christians, and as a result thousands of people would come here in the medieval period on pilgrimage. Later the abbey, which you can actually see over in the distance just behind Pete, the Abbey Monastery, was ransacked by the Vikings. So huge amounts of history, and obviously a massive castle as well, which always helps. So as ever, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, then please hit the button, help support the channel's growth. So once again, a huge thank you to Gray and Sue and Amber's Digs for inviting me and Pete over, and we're excited to see what we find. So let's go and see if we can find any treasures. We have our first digger, and there's been a couple of cracking finds out so far. A little brooch for one of the guys, which looks like it could be sort of Tudor, Jacobean, 1600s maybe. And also there's been a hammered coin up, which might be a farthing or a 2p, which looks like it's Charles I or Charles II from the 1600s. And this is a nice 64. Easy digging. The ground here is very sandy. And when we were here last time, preservation in the coins was brilliant because of the sandy soil. And we're out. But is it a good one? Oh. So the first find from Lindisfarne. What's it going to be? Oh, Well, is it shallow? It is. Somewhere in there. Somewhere. Oh, there's something. Nope, that was a wee stone. Maybe it wasn't. Nope, that was it. Well, there it is. What is it? It's a thing. Oh, it's a wee bit of aluminium, I think. I think it is. It is. It's a little bit of aluminium that's just broken into. Rubbish. Junk. Well. Carol's just had a heart attack. What you got?
Really?
Oh, is it a button?
It's a button. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's a nice button.
It's a nice button, but it's not what I thought it was when I saw the rim, John.
Yeah, I bet. Lovely bit of gold. A wee gilded button, an anchor, so something to do with the Navy.
Got to be.
Probably what, 1700s, 1800s?
Roundabout, I would say the 18s, like.
18s, 1800s, so there you go. Brilliant. We know the Navy had a big presence here during various different conflicts. So yeah, nice bit of history. Well
Thank you
done.
very much.
Not quite a gold coin, but hey ho. Next time.
So close.
Well, I thought it was a bit irony sounding with maybe something else. I don't know if that's maybe some sort of nail or knife or something. I'll give it, it might be a knife actually. I'll give it a clean up and get back to you. Interesting. Well, there we go. It is a knife. In this little bit here, I was able to look, just bend that out. That's what actually made me dig the hole, because the rest of it is all iron. It is a knife. It's got this big loop attachment on the end, probably to put it on your buckle, your belt buckle, or your belt. And it is a knife, a very, very big knife, possibly used by someone who's either, you know, at sea or in the Navy or something like that. It looks familiar, its shape and design, but I reckon it's probably going to be 17 or maybe 1800s, but let me know. Fantastic. Deepest target of the day so far, from about 10, maybe 11 inches. Sounds pretty reasonable now it's out. It didn't sound that good. Is it something good though? What's that? Oh, it's lead. Well, first bit of lead of the day. Kind of got wee lines on it, I think. It's got a hole through it as well. Probably something to do with a ship or a roof. Or both. A ship with a roof, maybe. But, you know, it's a thing. Well, how about that for a view? There's Lindisfarne Castle in the near, and in the distance, away out there, is Bamborough Castle, which is best part of 2,000 years it's been fortified for. If you've seen the film The Last Kingdom, or the TV series The Last Kingdom, I think it's called, the Vikings, Uhtred of Bebbanba. That's where Bamborough comes from. Bebbanba is what it used to be called, because it was named after a woman called Bebba. And in English it's now called Bamborough. But the castle here at Lindisfarne is from the 1500s, 1540s I think it was built. 1537 is when Henry VIII dissolved the monasteries, and I think it was 1537 when the abbey was finally abandoned, give or take. And because of the risk of Scottish invasion, because Scotland's only, what, 10 miles in that direction, the Scottish border, today anyway, Henry VIII ordered that this be fortified, hence the castle. Thank goodness for the Scots, or we wouldn't have such prime metal detecting. This is what you want to see when you're out with a group of metal detectorists. A crowd gathering. It must be good. I think I'll go and take a wee look, see what we've got. I think it might be Gray who's got it. He looks happy anyway. Alright, here we go. Got some quality finds. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that as well. Oh, that's a Scottish. Got to come all the way down here again and it's Scottish. Yeah, it's a Turner, Scottish 2p. Probably Charles II. 1660 it is, yep, Charles II, C11R. Carolus de Gracia, Brit, Omni Rex, Hibernia. King of the Britons, King of Ireland, so it'll be sometime between 1660 and 1685. Copper tuppence. Well done that, man. It's beauty. And look what Graham's got. Oh my goodness. He's got himself a long cross penny, which is one of the Edwards. Possibly the second or third, maybe. What's the mint? You spotted it yet? No. So, somewhere it will say Civvy. Tass. Might be Durham, maybe. Can't quite tell. Right, I'm going to look at that one off camera and get back to you. Well done. Well, certainly it's going to be from the late 1200s into the 1300s, so phenomenal find. Unbelievable. Oh, and look at this. This man is showing off. My God, what a coin. What a key even. Coin's brilliant as well, but God, that's stunning, isn't it? Do you think maybe from a jewellery box or something like that?
Could be. Wish you could find the box.
Yeah, that would be nice. That's lovely. What a condition as well, eh? It's phenomenal. What do you reckon on a date? Any ideas?
I thought late medieval, but you'd probably go Georgian or Victorian.
I don't know. I mean, it could be 1600s, I thought
I
maybe.
was going to say 15.
Yeah. But well, and that's your wee hammer that you got earlier, which is another Charles. So it's, what machine are you on?
Manticore.
Oh, Manticore. Oh, well.
Manticore.
Has anyone got a Deus?
What's them? Oh, he's got a Manticore.
Oh well, so the best finds so far are all to the Manticore. Right, well, I mean, let's edit that bit out. So yeah, this is another Charles, Carolus. I'm not sure, see the two dots? I think it's a 2p. But then at the same time, it's kind of the size of a rose farthing. But anyway, it's I think it's Charles I. So it'll be 1625 to 1649 if it is. But let us know. Phenomenal, folks.
Is
Oh,
this Monday money?
Sue's in here as well.
I think it's maybe a threepence.
Yeah. Looks like a well-worn threepence. I think it's maybe Edward VII. Looks like a head looking to the right to me, but
Yeah, we
might
saw
be.
ahead.
Yeah, so if it's looking to the right, it's probably Edward VII.
Can you see a hallmark on that?
Oh yeah, I think I can actually, yeah. So if it's Edward VII, so it'll be 1901 to 1910. Beautiful. And then maybe another bit of silver for the Manticore. It is, I think, yeah. Put you in the holder so I can... Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yep, so almost a silver spoon.
It's got the other bit.
Now if you're trying to cut back on your sugar, you could use that. Oh, you got the rest of it?
No, I don't
Oh, it's a
think that-
different one,
that's a
no.
different one. Oh, that looks
Well,
quite old.
that's old as well, yeah. That's silver too, is it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, if it's not silver, it's probably what, some sort of pewter alloy or something, lead alloy. It's a lovely wee find as well, though. That's 200-300 years maybe.
Probably
And a nice little buckle as well.
I've had a couple of these as well.
My goodness, these guys are pulling the finds out like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, I don't know, what do you reckon? Is that horse related or human related?
I thought horse, but
I mean, it could have had a big pin. It's almost like a big sort of annular brooch type thing.
a couple of them. I think
Phenomenal.
they're pop ends.
Yeah, I think you're
I think
spot
there's
on.
been 3 of them come up.
Yep, pot mend. Use a bit of lead to fix your cooking pot. Just what you need. Bit more lead in your diet. Oh, and Sue's got a cracking George as well.
It just shows there's been a lot of activity on here.
Yeah, certainly has been. George the First? I'm not sure. He doesn't look quite fat-headed enough to be George the Third. I call him Mr. Potato Head. But yeah, it could be George the First. Possibly. Halfpenny.
Happy days.
Good condition though. Yeah, I think it is because it's got that line round the outside edge. So I think it is George the First. That would be what, 1714 to 1727. Copper halfpenny. 2 pints of beer for you, Sue.
Wow.
Well, you might struggle to spend it in the pub tonight, but you could try. Oh, well done. Look at all these happy folk. And what's that on the clock? An hour? maybe an hour and a half. Phenomenal start.
Yeah.
Oh, how on earth did that get 12 inches deep? Ollie Doc's toothpaste. That's a new one by me. We've got a thing, possibly a horse brass or a buckle. It's kind of round. Yeah, it could be. Oh, what is that? Maybe it's more like a piece of furniture. Strange, whatever it is. Way the roots have grown inside it. In fact, they're not roots, that's rope, string. Mystery. What is that? I'll leave that in there. Yeah, it's like a fine string. And it's going around the edge as well. So, if you know, comment below. It looks brass to me, but I've no idea what it is. So let me know. Date wise, not massively old, I think, maybe at most maybe 200 or 300 years. Typical, just stopped for a wee bite to eat, for a wee break. That's just 2 hours on the clock. And where I was, which is away down at the wall there, and Daggins phoned, and apparently him and Merrick are down there, his brother, and Daggins only went and got a gold coin. So unbelievable. I look forward to seeing that. So this is Daggin, and that is a gold coin, and look at that for a setting for a gold coin. Unbelievable. So give us a look. What a coin. Absolutely stunning. 1845.
Yeah.
Three. Is it three? I think it's 1843. And we think it's a full sovereign, which means it's going to be, what, about 8 grams? 8.2 or thereabouts. If I can get it to focus, there we go. But an absolutely phenomenal coin, mint condition. And it doesn't get much better than gold. Well done, that man.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What a setting.
I said, didn't I? I said the metal detecting gods are with us today.
Just come into this field, there's my detector. There is Lindisfarne Castle, which is from the 1530s. In the distance on the horizon is Bamborough Castle, it's about 5 miles away. And then if you pan around here, over in that direction is the abbey and monastery, which date back to the 500s AD. Some history. It was a screamer of a target. To be honest, I was expecting probably a bottle top, but I think it's a hinge. I think. It could be an over elaborate heavy duty buckle, but I don't think so. I think it's a hinge. Not massively old, maybe a couple of 100 years at most, but it's a find. Hurrah everyone, we've done it. We've got our first coin. And it looks to be a beauty. Unfortunately it's not medieval, but still, It is coin number 1 of the day, so I am not complaining. It's taken me a long time to get off the mark. I think that's about 3.5 hours to get my first coin. 1943. Ship's halfpenny. It's in great condition, apart from a little bit of damage. But there is a very resplendent George VI. Lovely patina, olivey green, absolutely mint. And the golden hind on the back, which is the ship. That, I wouldn't say Sir Francis Drake, but I think it might not be. Anyway, I've forgotten. But it's a coin, and we're off the mark. Hopefully better finds ahead. Fantastic. Another one worth a look. 1991, but I'm not going to be able to live dig. The grass is too long for this shovel. Seems to be in the clod, relatively shallow. Don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Oh, right about there. Well, I don't have high hopes, but I'm going to turn you off because I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out. No, it's aluminium. No, it's not. It's a little badge. It's a hand. Oh, not quite gold, but it shimmers. As is all too often the case, the wind is coming from the direction of the sun, so it's difficult to get things in the light without the wind, which is picking up. So a little commemorative or little charity sort of, I'm sure someone will recognise it, something to do with, I don't know, children's charity or cancer or something along those lines. Not old, probably not even been here more than 10 or 20 years, but if you recognise it, let me know. Alright. Right, there's Pete. I don't know what he's up to. He's lying down on the ground. I think he's just trying to get a good photograph. But look at that for a backdrop. Right here. Now, I've had aluminium. I'm working my way along this wall. The sea is just immediately on my left. And a 70, 71, and I think we've actually got a hammered coin. Right there. In the bottom of the clod. It is. We've got a hammered. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Let me just shout Pete over. Sorry folks, I couldn't film the cleanup or the removal because Pete was over, and then we've got the public footpath is like literally right here, so I had a crowd of people all desperate to see what I'd found, so I had to go and show them first. But it is a hammered, and I think size wise, I think it's probably a half groat, possibly a threepence, but I don't think so. I think a half groat, which would be tuppence, but it's not a coin that I would regularly find. The rose there, I think it might be Elizabeth I of England, and that would make sense because the fort was built by her father Henry VIII, which is literally right there. So that was built in the I think it was the 1530s, 1540s, maybe early 1540s, and she would have taken the throne sometime around, what, 1550, 1560? So fairly early on in the life of the fort. But there is definitely someone with a crown, a head looking to the left, and if it's not Elizabeth, then I think it's going to be Charles I or Charles II, which would make it 1625 to 1660, or 1660 to 1685. The back, I'm afraid, is toast. Oh no, it's not as bad as I thought it was. There is a shield. So there is a shield there. So I think it's probably Elizabeth then. Okay, I've spent a little bit of time trying to get some detail off it, and I think it ends TH. So it would be Elizabeth, and then you can just see DG, de Gratia, by the grace of God, and then it'll probably say ANG, FRA, and then it's Et Hibernia. So Queen of England, France, and Ireland, and then Regina, which is Queen. So it is Elizabeth I. I've googled it. I think she ruled, if I remember rightly, from 1558 to 1603, or 1559 to 1603. And I think, as I said before, I think it's either a half groat, which is 2p, or it's a 3p. Now I'm actually thinking now from memory it might actually be a 3p, because I'm sure that a half groat, which is 2p, would have 2 dots on it, and I don't see 2 dots, and I think they would be obvious because there's enough detail there. But it is a silver coin from 1550s through to 1603. Phenomenal. And in the shadow of an epic looking castle. So there on the distance is the abbey, you can see on the headland over there. And if we pan around, there is Sneaky Pete, and there is a castle built in the 1530s, 1540s. Again, it is a reasonable target. 91. Could be a bottle top, but we'll check it out and get back to you. Okay, well, I thought maybe a ring pull, and I think we might have another coin. And it's going to be Georgian with that output. Georgian copper. Well, things are on the up. Ugh. It's not looking like it's got a lot of detail though. Well, definitely looks like a Georgian coin to me. I'll do my best with a clean up and we'll get back to you, but we're on a wee roll. Once again, the bendy thumb to the rescue. It is George III, Mr. Potato Head, 1760 to 1820. So we've got Queen Elizabeth I, who was a very long reigning monarch, and now we're followed by big old George, who ruled for 60 years, I think it was, or 60, yeah, I think it was 60 years. 1760 to 1820. And on the other side, you can just make out Britannia. So, coin number 3. Slow start, but that's us just gone 4.5 hours. So I've got 3 coins in less than an hour and a half. Brilliant. 2 pints of money in anyone's back in the day. How appropriate, right in the shadow of the castle, I find a Gibbs dentifrice with a castle. Phenomenal. Dental powder for your teeth. Probably from, what, 1920s, 1940s, something like that. I just turned my machine off because I said to Pete, look, if I don't turn it off and start walking back, I'm never going to get back for lunch. And look at that, he said, oh, I've just had a really nice coin, really good condition. Initially I thought it was a George, but it's not, it's Gavilimus, it's a William III. So sometime between 1688 and what, 1702 or something, I think he died. And that is the best looking William III copper coin I've ever seen. The back's pretty good too. There probably is a date there at the bottom, I can't quite make it out yet, but absolutely stunning coin. Beautiful coin. That is unbelievable, Pete. Well done, that man. There you go. There's Happy Pete. I know the ladies like to see him.
Really?
Welcome back to the north of England, northeast of England to be precise, not the northeast of Scotland, as I said earlier on. My mistake. Old habits and all that. So we're back out, we've had some lunch. It's getting pretty breezy. I've swapped the sun hat for the woolly hat, and Sneaky Pete is there behind me. We've literally just started, we've moved into different fields, and Pete's already digging a hole. And I've got myself a little signal right here. Right folks, there's the spade for comparison. My knee comes up to there, so not far off. And look at that. Well, not as much as I thought, but still a good 14 inches. And there's a coin, and it's Victoria. Had to call Pete over, I thought I was losing my mind. So Pete came over, and he's got a narrower spade, so he was able to dig the hole for me. But what a nightmare. But it is coin number, I think that's number 4. 60 something, maybe 62. I'll give it a clean up. I'll fill this hole back in and get back to you. Cheers, Pete. Well, after all that, at least it was a coin. If that had been junk at that depth, it would have been a complete nightmare. It took me about 5 minutes to dig this out. But you can see there's a date, 1862. You'll see Britannia fading in. So 1837, she took the throne. The head side in much better condition. Wasn't in circulation for a long time before it was lost, and another very long ruling monarch. 63 years and 200 and something days on the throne. A halfpenny, and definitely a pint of beer. This has got to be a coin. Solid 91 all the way. Has to be. Has to be. Come on. I mean, an outside chance it could be silver, but I think probably a Georgian copper. Darn, I was hoping it was going to be in there. Right, seems to be just about within pinpointer depth. So hopefully, with a few of these, it'll be out. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a buckle. Well, first buckle of the day for me. Not massively old, couple of hundred years at best, almost certainly a horse buckle. Still, it's another find. Another coin contender. Solid 82. I realised as well my pinpointer, I had changed the settings on it. I was out last week on a new field that didn't find anything, but it was very sensitive ground, and I dropped it to low settings. So I think that's why I was having problems. Now it's on high settings, which I think should be fine in this sandy soil, but it sounds like a potential coin. And right there is something green and round and big. It's a penny. Look at that. At least I think it's a penny. Out you pop. There we go. 1 penny, and it's a beauty. It's a lovely coin. It is a lovely coin. Victoria. It's the old head, and it looks to be in mint condition. Phenomenal. Maybe 96 at the bottom there. I think so. Right, clean her up and we'll get back to you. And there we go, no fade in required. A very lustrous Britannia on the back, looking resplendent with her shield and trident. The date at the bottom, 1896. On the other side, unfortunately just a little bit pitted around her face, but that is the old head, the veiled head of Queen Victoria. Must have been lost fairly soon after it was circulated, after it was made. Not a lot of wear at all. A big year for Queen Victoria. 1896 is when she surpassed her, let me think, grandfather, I think it was, maybe great-grandfather, George III, as the longest ruling British monarch in history. He'd done 60 years, or thereabouts. So, lovely wee coin, beautiful condition, and the soil here is just really good for coins, just like some of our fields at home. It's another solid one. Another coin contender. 85. This is a nice solid 86. I'm expecting a coin here. What do you reckon? Oh, get that out of there. I just realised my microphone isn't plugged in. Ugh. Okay, take two. Microphone's plugged in. I was trying to top up the battery and forgot. Well, there's a wee wiggly worm. And there, folks, is a coin. 100%. Doesn't look in quite as good condition as the others. Now, this field, interestingly, apparently they've had quite a number of jettons out of it, which are sort of trade tokeny type things. There might be a head on there though. So, we'll dry this out and get back to you. Alas, no ancient jeton from the medieval or post-medieval period. It is a coin. It's a copper halfpenny. You can just make out RGIVS, Georgios. So I believe there is a head there looking to my right, I think. Or is it looking to the left? No, I think it's looking to the right. So that'll be George the Third, because I think it's too round and too uniform to be George the First. The man who we were just talking about, who was overtaken by Queen Victoria as the longest reigning monarch. And it looks like one of his earlier ones if it's George the Third, so it's probably from the sort of beginning to the middle of his reign, 1760 through to maybe 1790, 1800, something like that. But still, another coin, another halfpenny, and certainly going to be 2 pints of beer. Now the plug is out, listen to that. Maybe another coin, maybe. Maybe. Right, let's turn that round there. We're close. We're very close. Oh, what's that? Well, it's not a button. That looks like iron. No, it's not. It's 81. So, maybe it's lead. It is lead. It is. I think it's just it's very heavy. I think it must be lead. It looks like it's got a whitish sort of colour to it. Yes, it is. Well, a random piece of lead. Ach well. Still searching for my first button, but we've got our first bit of cutlery. And it's a fork, not a spoon. There's been a lot of spoons by people, but that is the first fork. I mean, look at that. You could kill yourself with that. My goodness. No wonder they had no teeth back then. Well, a dangerous weapon for eating your food. Probably about couple of hundred years old. This is a stick-on for a coin. Crisp in both directions. Has to be a coin. Queen Victoria penny, bun head, 1868. And we're out. And we're in here. No George V today. Maybe he wasn't that popular in Lindisfarne as he seems to be in Perthshire. Oh, I feel something. That is not... Oh my goodness. Pete, I've got silver. Well, at least I think I've got silver. I think. And if it's silver, it's big. Look at that. Oh, it has to be. Has to be.
That's looking good.
Has to be. Oh no, it's a button. It's my first button.
Hey.
Oh, it's a button, but oh my goodness, I'd have taken the silver. Oh, don't think it's even decorated. Oh man. Well, I did say I hadn't had a button yet. And no sooner did I say that, Pete, who's detecting around me, dug up 3 buttons on the trot. I did think for silver, for a coin, if that was a silver coin, the output was just too low, to be honest. It all makes sense now. Well, there you go. I don't think it's decorated, but I'm going to just clean this up off camera and get back to you. I did say I wanted a button. Pete's actually just had one as well, which was gilded, so it was gold, and it had all the gold on the side that was facing up when he dug the hole, so he let out a squeal that then turned into a whimper. We've all been there. So squashed eyelet on the back, or maybe it was always that shape, and I can't see any decoration, but it's silvered or tinned, and I would guess probably from the 1800s, but if you know, comment below. Button number 1. Do you ever get the feeling you're being watched? I get the feeling they're trying to encircle me. Boom, quick. I might need to run away at this rate. They're getting a little bit brave for my liking. Okay, don't need to come any closer. Had ourselves another little 15-minute break and back into the field that we were just in, and worth a look. Wouldn't necessarily say it's a coin, but you never know. Sounds better now. 87. A little bit deeper. Not quite as good now. Is that green? It is green. What is that? Oh, it's a great big... I think it's... well, what is it? I was going to say it looks like a... maybe like a big rivet or something for a boat. Holding planks together or something. It's a hefty bit of copper, whatever it is. Could be. Could be a great big pin or a great big square nail, but if you know, comment below. It sounded like a button, and it is a button. It's a little 4-holer, probably Victorian, 1850s, 1900, but, well, it's better than aluminium. The old batteries are running low. I'm trying to boost them whenever I can. So I'm going to limit filming of live digs at least, unless it sounds promising. This is one of the better ones in the last half hour. 71, 72. Oop. Made a mess of that again. Now it sounds rubbish. Is that it there on the bottom? I think it is. It is. So, oh, well, it's a great big, chunky, it almost looks like part of a bracelet, which I've slightly nicked with a spade. Well, it's copper alloy, and kind of looks like a sort of bracelet, doesn't it? But, I mean, could it be a bull's ring for its nose? It's broken? I really don't know, but interesting. If you know, comment below. It's a heavy old piece, whatever it is. So yeah, let me know. Is it ancient? Does it date back to the time of St. Cuthbert? Let me know. Another screamer. 93, 94. I'm going to make this quite a big hole. A 5-sided. Do we have a bottle top? Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? Come on, please be out. I've dug some really deep holes. Oh, there's something big and round. Well, if it's a coin, it's the biggest coin I've ever seen. What's a buckle? Well, I'll take that. It is a lovely big buckle. Excellent. I knew it was a big target, that's why I said I was going big. Big horse buckle, probably 1900s, something like that. Nice. Probably a spoon handle, but very fancy. Little dot decoration. And almost certainly Victorian, 1850 through to maybe Edwardian, 1910, maybe even sneaking into George V. But it's another find. A sweet, crisp 88. I think it's too big a target to be a coin. Again, we'll dig a fairly big hole. Maybe another buckle. There's a low spot in this field. I wonder if there's been an area of flooding or even a pond here at some point. There's something poking out. Right there. It's a cog. Oh, dropped it. First of the day, I think, that I've dropped. I've dropped it and it's completely vanished. Where did that go? No idea where that went. You get a metal detector. Oh, there it is. It's rolled away behind the spade. So yeah, toothed cog, possibly from some sort of clockwork farm machinery, or maybe even from a clock. A quill. Well folks, that is us. An end to an absolutely spectacular day. Started with sunshine, glorious weather, no wind at all, and it's ended with woolly hats, jackets, jumpers, and a really cold wind. They did say the weather was going to turn. I didn't think it would be quite that quick, but what a day. What an incredible day. So I have to say yet again a huge thanks to Gray, to Sue, and to Amber's Digs for inviting both me and Pete out for a phenomenal day on Lindisfarne, on Holy Island, which is in England, not in Scotland. I keep forgetting. Anyway, absolutely phenomenal day. Some fantastic finds, hammered coins, a gold coin, not for me, but my goodness, it doesn't get much better than that. And yeah, some interesting little finds and relics along the way. So if I can, I'll try and get some filming of some of the other guys' finds. But before we get there, let's have a wee look at the best from today. For me at least. And there we are, a handful of treasures. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins. One of them silver, which is a hammered, which is even better. Absolutely over the moon with that. So we've got 1943, which is George VI. We've got George III, Queen Victoria, 1896. Queen Victoria, what was this one? 1862 on that one. And of course, who could forget the hammered coin? Now it is a little bit worn. Come on, focus. Nope, doesn't want to focus. There we go, that's better. So it is a little bit worn, but it is Elizabeth I. And it will date from sometime from what, the late 1550s through to 1603. Showing it to a couple of the guys. I think we're going with threepence. Silver threepence. Little nick out it. Pretty worn, pretty smooth, but they all count. Obviously the button, which gave me a heart attack. I thought I was on to like a half crown or a florin, but no, it was a button. A little modernish kind of charity, something to do with children potentially. Little tag, spoon handle, this interesting little, I mean, I think it's just a big sort of square rivet, a big square nail, but it's either bronze or copper, so possibly something to do with boats. Few buckles. Pete's got an absolute whopper of a buckle as well, and this interesting little find. I'm going to call it an amulet or a bracelet. It's very smooth on the inside, a wee bit rougher on the outside. It's copper alloy. It's clearly tapering down at both ends to probably rounded terminals. And how old is it? Well, I have got no idea, so I'm going to leave all of you to tell me if it's some Viking, Saxon or Roman period Iron Age bracelet. That would be phenomenal, but yeah, I've literally got no idea. So another one we'll probably show to the museum. So there you go, an absolute handful of treasures and an absolutely fantastic day with great company. A spectacular day, phenomenal finds, and you know, to have a castle, Bamborough in the distance as well, and obviously the old abbey, the old monastery on Holy Island too, it gives you confidence that there is going to be some good stuff, and there certainly has been. As ever, if you're not already subscribed, then please hit the button and help support the channel. So Pete's had a great day as well. As I say, I'll do a little summary of finds at the end, assuming of course I can get everyone to show me their stuff. And yeah, once again, a really great day, and thanks to Gray and Sue and all the guys for having us and for being such great company. We're staying locally in a little hotel, a little inn, so there's going to be a wee meal for us and no doubt a few shandies as well. And then we're back here tomorrow, so back out and see what other fields and what other treasures there are to be had. Almost. Not even had a shandy yet. So so yeah, really looking forward to tomorrow, looking forward to great company tonight, and yeah, thank you all for joining me on such a fantastic day. So I'll see you all hopefully on the next dig. Take care, and thanks for watching. And that is us making our voyage back over the causeway. The tide has literally just receded, but as you'll see, there's still plenty of standing water on the causeway. And a really, really phenomenal day. My legs are like lead. I've walked somewhere around 35,000 steps today. So I've kept myself well fueled, and I am looking forward to getting a nice cold pint of beer. There's something about metal detecting in such a historic place that literally anything is possible. So it really, really gives you hope, and I'm hoping that tomorrow is going to be just as good as today, and more importantly that I'm not going to end up spending the night in the wooden hut. So as ever, thank you all for watching. Huge thanks to all the guys for entertaining us, and to Sue and Gray once again for inviting us over. And we are off to the pub and to check into our hotel. So we'll see you all again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.